My name is Mitch Wagner. Professionally, which is the way most people on the internet would know me, I'm editor-in-chief of the CMO site. We are an online community for executive marketers at large corporations. We have blog posts and message boards and videos and online classes and white papers, and it's really a place for executive marketers to share their best practices with their peers. Personally, I live in San Diego, been married to my wonderful wife for 18 years. I'm a science fiction fan, no kids, but I do have a cat who treats me with contempt. Live in San Diego and try to avoid direct sunlight when I can. I would say the CMO site is. I have always been someone who was primarily a journalist, primarily what they're calling nowadays a content creator. So it's really been exciting for me to be in a strategic role in setting the direction for a website and a publication with, of course, the collaboration of a lot of people and working for a lot of people. But I've never really had that editor-in-chief title before, so it's been quite a revelation for me. Personal accomplishment. Well, remaining happily married for 18 years is certainly a big deal. Been writing, doing creative writing on a regular basis for a couple of years now, which I'm very excited about. But I'd say probably the single biggest one would be I actually lost a lot of weight. I lost 90 pounds over the course of 2 years and have kept it off for about 14 months now. I think that it really depends on what your job is and what sort of image you're trying to project. If you are for example, a medical professional or an attorney or a financial professional, people are trusting you with a very grave responsibility, and therefore your avatar image should probably be very professional. Maybe yourself wearing a suit and tie if you're a man, or a suit if you're a woman, or maybe just your company logo. In other fields, you can be more playful depending on what role you play. For me, I have my own picture on Twitter. On Google Plus, I have my own picture wearing a straw hat, which I believe you can just see that hat behind me on the little styrofoam head thing over there. And on Facebook, I actually have a picture of a macaque monkey looking like it's grinning, because I think in my line of work I can afford to have a little bit of humor in the job. You got to think it through. There is a trade-off to having a mix of personal and professional. Many people who follow you professionally won't be interested in the personal connections, and vice versa. I feel like it's given me deeper connections with people that have created both professional and business value for me in terms of, making new friends and also getting more work over time. But on the other hand, I think my social follower numbers have been a lot smaller than people in a similar position to mine. Additionally, you have to watch out for offending people. People will get offended by political posts, people will get offended by religious posts, people will get offended by some varieties of humor, and you just have to be aware of that and either keep that stuff out of your posts or be willing to suffer the consequences. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a creative writer, in particular, a science fiction writer. A subset of that, my heroes were Harlan Ellison, Isaac Asimov, and Robert A. Heinlein. Three in many ways, very different men. Writing is still a big part of what I do in my job, but it certainly is not the same type of writing. It's business writing rather than creative writing. I do some creative writing on the side, but I think that childhood dream was just that, a dream. Yes, they are all three science fiction novels. It's a genre I love. One of the things I like most about it is that even the darkest science fiction stories are fundamentally optimistic because they assume that there will be a future and that it will be an exciting one, or at least exciting enough to be worth reading. Science fiction I like to read is a little bit old-fashioned, and that's the kind I like to write too. Beyond that, I'll just let people read it. I will put in a plug, however, for the one story that I've published so far. It's called The Biggest Man in Lilliput, and it's available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon Kindle. If you just search for that title, you'll find it. It brings the Jonathan Swift city of Lilliput into the modern present day, a world of blogs and iPhones and other cool gadgets, and deals with the threats that the Lilliputians face from giant-sized people like us. Well, I love to walk. I walk 3 to 5 miles a day. I love to read. A lot of my reading is on the internet, so it kind of blurs with work. I also love social media personally as well as professionally, so that blurs with work too. Mainly though, I'm kind of a workaholic, so I really need to work on that in the future and have a better answer for that question in a year. More of the same, bigger and better. I'd like to continue to make the CMO site a bigger and better site. I'd like to finish up on the novels. I'd like to spend more time with my lovely wife and friends, and just keep on going.